Wait lang, ila-live ko lang muna. Yes, go live. Try mo talaga ang mic. All right. Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the PH Twitter Space Roundtable discussion. I am your host for tonight. I'm Just. So we have a really interesting topic for tonight. The title of our space is the two houses of the legislative. But before we go to the summary of it, I would like to introduce my co-host for tonight and to tell us about the house rules. Go ahead, gamer.
All right, good evening, guys. We appreciate your interest in joining our roundtable discussion. To ensure a productive and enjoyable conversation, we kindly ask that you follow these rules and guidelines. Please note that the views expressed by the speakers during this discussion that do not necessarily reflect the views of the entire group. Our goal is to encourage and hear all sides of the debate. Please note that Twitter Space will be recorded for social media sharing. During discussion, you will be addressed by your Twitter handle. If you're uncomfortable with this, please send us a direct message to the moderator or co-moderator to address your concerns. Please listen carefully as the moderator and co-host introduce themselves and provide an overview of the topic at the beginning of the discussion. In order to give everyone a chance to speak, we will enforce a time limit for each participant's input. 2 to 3 minutes first statement on the first question, 1 minute on the succeeding statements. If you wish to contribute to the discussion, please use the raise hand feature. The moderator and co-host will then call you to speak. If you would like to rebut while someone else is talking, please raise your hand and use the wave emoji to signal your intention. The moderators will provide you with 30 seconds to express your rebuttal. We ask that you maintain a respectful and open-minded tone throughout the discussion. Personal attacks, offensive language, and disruptive behavior will not be tolerated. This is a fun space where our goal is to sharpen arguments and get a general feel of the mood from the other people's points of view. Let's enjoy the process and learning the exchange of ideas. Go. Let's go now.
Yes, thank you very much, gamer. So yeah, welcome to the PH Shooter Space Roundtable. Just a commercial. On Thursday we will have Sir Justin Bakisal. He's a geopolitical analyst who worked and still working for the government right now as a consultant. So we will have him with the topic the Marcos administration foreign policy. So we will talk about our geopolitical situation, the West Philippine Sea, EDCA, our relationship with China, and a lot more. So that's um July 13, 9 p.m. It's gonna be the kapalit of our roundtable every replacement of our roundtable every Thursday. So again, welcome to the PH Roundtable roundtable discussion. Our topic for tonight is really interesting. This is the two houses of the legislative. If we say the two houses of the legislative, I'm sure you already know that we're talking about the upper house, which is the Senate, and of course the lower house, which is the House of the Representatives. As a equal branch of the government, the legislative plays an integral part in nation building and good governance. They have a lot of mandates as from budget appropriation to our bills, resolution, the national policies, even programs that needs legislation, and also there's the increase in investigation. To quote unquote, this came from the mandate of the Senate and the House of Representatives to build a prosperous, honest, secure, and democratic nation. Please remember that the timeline of the discussion, ang pinag-uusapan lang po natin tonight is limited to the first session of the 19th Congress. So, simula po no first na SONA ni President Marcos, ni BBM, baka makarating tayo kay Fem. Yeah. Simula po nung opening of the 19th Congress, which is the first son of the president, until nung nag-close, that was the same day as pumasa ng third reading yung Maharlika bill. So that's the only timeline. So it was a year. So just an overview, we will talk about the following tonight. Our first topic is the weak opposition. Our second topic is the neophytes. The third topic is the leadership. The fourth topic is the controversies and issues. And of course, the fourth is the accomplishment. So yeah, para to get things going, let's start with the first topic. Shall we, gamer? Are you good?
We're
All right.
good. Mhm.
Yes. Sorry, kumakain
Yeah,
yata siya.
walang, walang.
Okay. Yes. So our first topic tonight is medyo juicy na tayo agad. This is the weak opposition, quote unquote, on the weak. Um, our first question is, since they are severely outnumbered in the upper house and the lower house, the opposition was not able to block bills that they are strongly against. So, do you think this is the banner question? Do you think that the current opposition is weak? If we're gonna further the if we're gonna further the question, if you will remember, they have contentions with the confidential funds for DepEd and OVP, pero hindi nila yun naipaglaban during the budget deliberation. They also have they also are against the postponement of the barangay and SK elections, as well as the mandatory ROTC and of course, the controversial Maharlika investment fund. With that in mind, do you think that the current opposition is weak? So, yeah, in the upper house, I think you can raise your hand if you want to answer. In the upper house, I think the opposition consists of the minority leader, which is Coco Mependel, and the minority deputy leader, which is ano to? Risa Ontiveros. Tapos I think in the Congress, it's just limited to the Makabayan bloc. I think there are just three seats or four seats,
True.
counting if ever mabigyan ng seat na eventually si Rowena Guanzon. So, gamer?
Go ahead, Von. 3 minutes.
Okay. Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. So, eto, by numbers, masasabi natin na weak talaga ngayon ng opposition. Aminin na lang po natin. By numbers, we are currently weak. Pero ang pananaw ko ito, this does not reflect the views of my political party, which is Makabayan. Totoo nga, by by numbers, we are weak. But by arguments, especially in the Senate, we are still strong. Uh, Totoo na kung sa botohan, matatalo kami. Pero yung paninindigan to hold on the checks and balances are still there. Andun pa rin yung prinsipyo na totoong majority wins, but we need to respect the views also of the minority. So, again, on my personal view, we are we are weak by numbers, but our convictions are strong. And I rest the case for now.
Alright, thank you very much, Von. Ethan, ko po.
Magandang gabi po sa ating lahat. The question is, do you think the current opposition is weak? The answer is yes. Bakit po? Ako po, mas viewer ako ng politics sa United States kaysa po dito sa atin. Medyo minimal na lang ako dito. Nakikita ko yung administration and opposition when it comes to the US politics. Bakit? Kasi two-party lang sila. We have the Democrats and the Republicans. Now, sa atin, hindi ko po ma-determine kung sino yung tunay na oposisyon sa administration banner. Let's trace back during the 2022 elections. There are so many parties running. We have the Liberal Party, Action Democratico, Partido Federal ng Pilipinas, the Unity, the Lux and Soto tandem, you cannot determine sino ba yung opposition, sino ba yung administration. Depende na lang sa tingin ng mga supporters kung kami administration or kami opposition. Now, doon sa Senate, I think the last time na mas madaming minority was 16th Congress. We have 5 or 6, if I'm not mistaken, which consists of UNA, United Nationalist Alliance. Ngayon, dadalawa na lang. Mali rin yung na-predict ng iba na madaming sasama sa opposition this 19th Congress. Kaya, sa party pa lang dapat, I mean, before elections, before the people elects as senators, representatives, etc., dapat dun pa lang mas clear na ang mga partido kung ano yung magiging stance nila sa pagiging administration or opposition. Thank you.
All right. Mark, go ahead po.
Marcos.
Marcus pala, sorry.
Okay, hi. Good evening sa lahat. Ano? Actually, it's not so much dahil outnumbered sila. No? Well, sa House of Representatives, dahil ang daming committee na nandyan, yung number ngayon ng minorities grossly disproportionate talaga. So that means marami silang kailangan trabahong gawin, and in that case divided talaga yung attention nila, kaya they cannot give quality time para sa mga ibang issues. That means they have to concentrate dun lang talaga sa mga urgent ones. Sa Senate, I don't think na may problema kasi kahit dadalawa sila. In fact, kahit isa yung minority senator, it's not so much of a problem compared sa House of Representatives talaga. So far, yung ang pinaka-controversial pa lang kasi na bill na dumaan sa Kongreso, itong MIF, no? Itong Maharlika Investment Fund. And ito lang talaga yung highly divisive na issue, as far as I can remember. I don't know kung mayroon pang iba. Ito lang yung highly protracted and highly divisive na bill na dumaan sa both houses. So nakita natin kung paano yung pagtatrabaho. I don't think nagkulang ng time yung mga senador, or in fact sa House of Representatives medyo hindi gaanong publicized yung naging usapan nila tungkol dito sa MIF. Ano? Sa Senate yung medyo highly publicized talaga dahil they did it on the last few weeks before the Congress adjourned. Tapos I think nagkaroon na talaga ng time naman ng ang minority to present their side. At kaya lang talaga at the end of the day talaga is pagbobotohan bawat bill, bawat issue. And in this case, talagang 19 yung bumoto sa MIF at dalawa lang yung hindi ko maalala yung exact number. Yung konti talaga yung kumontra or nag-abstain. Pero in terms of
30 seconds
yung
po.
contention na parang sila yung disproportionate, I think kailangan talaga i-increase nila yung quality ng kanilang mga arguments. At pangalawa, dahil nga kukonti, isa pa lang yung natatandaan ko na very contentious na issue na dumaan sa Kongreso. Hindi pa natin sila nasusubukan talaga. Yun lang. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Anyone, guys? Oh, Miss Chai. Good evening. Miss Chai? Go ahead po. Rinig ba ako? Miss Chai?
Yes, Miss Chai, are you there?
May glitch.
Nag-glitch siya? Okay. Hello? Miss Chai. Hello guys, if you want to join the conversation, all you need to do is to request for a mic and we will be more than happy to give you a chance to speak or to say your piece regarding the issue. The just a recap, the question is, do you think that the current opposition in both the upper and lower house of the legislative is weak? So yeah, Miss Chai, are you there?
Miss Chai. Ayan. Baka na-disconnect na naman siya. Hintayin natin siya mag-connect ulit.
Yes. So balikan lang natin si Miss Chai later. Anyone else who wants to speak about the first question?
Reform. Ikaw. Stay.
Yes. All right. I know, before Miss Chai, I think I have an answer. I think. Hello. Yeah. So since this is not I know, this is not naman up for debate, and this is just, ano man, chill lang na space. I think na the opposition right now is weak. Not because of, not just because of the number, but because of a lot of things. Parang sabi nga ni Goku Pimentel, parang hindi pa sila masyadong unified. Ganun. Sorry. Yeah. Anyone else who wants to speak on the issue? Gamer ikaw, you have.
The opposition doesn't exist. Yun ang masasabi ko talaga. They need to have a better opposition talaga, seryoso. Same people lang naman yung nag-oppose. So, opposition na ba yun? Ayun. Marcos, go ahead po.
Walang gusto magsalita, kaya parang kaya nag-raise na lang ako ng kamay. No? Tutuloy ko lang yung sinasabi ko kanina. Sa House of Representatives kasi, karamihan ng mga, sino nga ba yung si Edsel Lagman, yung minority floor leader, ano? Tapos ang support niya is mostly from the progressive bloc. And obviously, yung mga progressive bloc ay they try, iba kasi yung team ng kanilang, they try to oppose, they try practically lahat. And then they iba talaga yung kanilang agenda. Ganun lang. I have no other beautiful word to use. Sorry kay sino ba to, si may taga-akbayan tayo dito, si Von. Iba talaga yung agenda nila na every time na may especially yung mga progressive bloc, I mean, ganun. So, yung ganito kasing yung mga ganitong klase ng debates sa mga bills o sa mga issues ay parang nakakasawa na para sa mga Pilipino kasi we've been hearing these arguments for so long na hanggang ngayon issue pa rin, ano? Parang hindi naman nabibigyan ng solusyon. Either kailangan ba talaga ng solusyon o baka mali naman talaga yung hindi tayo nag-agree dun sa mga pinapanawagan nila mangyari, sa mga gusto nilang mangyari. Ganon, ano? So, ganon. It contributes to the lack of quality ng opposition sa kayo sa lower house. Ganon talaga. Again, I stress ko lang na hindi pa talaga natin nasusubukan yung talagang nagkaroon ng very contentious issue na pati yung mga ibang may members of the majority ay they have to vote against a certain bill, against a certain policy na gano'n, no? Pag nakita natin yan, and then we can see for ourselves kung gaano talaga ka-effective na i-handle ng opposition yung ganyan mga scenario na hindi lang other than their solid numbers being the opposition ay may mga ibang over the background na tatawid to join them in their crusade, in their opposition to some bills or some policies. I hope we get to see, sana hindi natin makita yan, pero I think it's going to happen sometimes in the future. Doon natin talaga makikita kung gaano ka-solid yung opposition. Yun lang.
Yeah, gamer.
Alright,
Hi,
thank you
Jazz.
po.
Can you hear me?
Ayan na siya, Miss
Gamer?
Chai.
Yan na. Go ahead, Miss Chai.
Go.
Kanina ko ba gusto magsalita? Yung connection ko talaga. Um, I'm not really happy that we have a weak opposition. That might surprise being a, a supporter of the administration, but it is. Hindi ako natutuwa na opposition. It's not good for the country. It's not good for the administration kasi um, hindi natin yung tunay na kakayahan ng administration na ito. Pangalawa, ah, um, pag meron tayong weak na opposition, hindi nakakapagbigay ng mga mamamayan kung paano ba yung tamang pamamaraan ng pagpuna at pag-criticize sa
Miss Chai, nawala ka ulit.
Chai. Yeah. Ang ganda ng sinabi ni Miss Chai. Habang parang sabi niya, parang, yeah. Miss Chai?
Can you hear me? Ngayon?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Yun
Okay, nawala ulit si Miss Chai.
Miss Chai,
Parang-
kapit ka sa antena. Kaya mo yan.
Yes, kaya mo yan. Parang no, but Miss Chai was like saying na for her, hindi rin siya masaya na hindi maayos or malakas ang opposition yun. Kasi hindi, ano nga yung Marcos, ay ano nga yung Gamer, parang hindi na-test yung
Yeah. Hindi tama yung
capacity
pagpuna.
or capabilities. Yeah, at pagpuna ng Miss Shai, sana umayos yung internet mo kasi ang ganda-ganda ng mga sinasabi mo. Sir Buxi muna, Gamer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sir Buxi.
Hi, good evening. Obvious naman na mahina ang opposition kasi ano ba i-oppose nila? I don't think we have walang running philosophy ang Pilipinas eh. Who are we anyway? Ang democracy, malakas kung malakas ang opposition. Eh dito, ano bang i-oppose? Ang lumalabas lang dito, mga Makabayan bloc. Pero ang communist idea already died in 1989. Pagbagsak ng Berlin Wall, all the philosophical and practical reason for the existence of communism, pinutol yung paa. And now the only opposition we have would be communism. Pero I don't know if that should answer us. Kagaya ng mga questions, should we emphasize globalism or nationalism? Ano dapat ang emphasis doon? Wala tayo nun eh. Tapos sa economics, are we still Keynesian? Trickle-down economy pa ba bang hinahabol natin? And so on and so forth, no? Ang mabigat dito, ang mga politician natin, sorry to say, self-interest lang nila yung nahabol. They will oppose things kung naapektuhan yung vested interest nila. Other than that, they will not bite the hand that feeds them eh. Kaya normally pag may nanalo, doon lilipat lahat sila for their pork barrel, no? Kaya hindi natin makikita ang talagang malakas na opposition. It's all self-interest. Yun ang malungkot dito sa Pilipinas. Kagaya nung
30 seconds po.
federal government, why should we emphasize that? Should we emphasize subsidiarity? Why? We don't know the answer to that. And then we don't even know what's the direct definition of what is a Filipino, what is the Philippines, and all these
Wrap up po.
questions. Okay, that's it. I don't know if I said something with sense.
Ah, you
Okay,
did.
thank
Don't
you.
worry.
You
Thank you po.
Sir Boxy. Thank you very much. It was actually a great one. Thank you, Sir
Yeah.
Boxy. Go ahead, Zoe. Zoe na diba?
Yeah, hello. Hi, Justin. Ayun, di ko alam kung na-mention na kasi kababalik ko lang sa ngayon lang ulit. Yun, kasi yung tawag dito, 'di ba we have a weak opposition. Usually naman kasi, um, ang minority yun yung opposition, 'di ba, sa legislative. So, in terms of their assertiveness ngayon sa na 'to, sa administration na 'to, talaga sila, weak talaga sila. Pero iba pa yung opposition, if we're talking about the opposition, those who oppose the administration, iba pa yun. Ah, Kumbaga ang pinag-uusapan lang natin is yung minority and yung majority sa legislative. So, as of now, medyo understandable siya na kasi nga tama yung sinabi ni Sir Buxi kanina na dahil nga wala naman talaga tayong i-o-oppose sa na 'to, sa administration na 'to. And pa pala additional, kasi sa Pilipinas yung opposition or yung minority and majority, hindi siya nakadepende talaga sa ideology. It was very recent na nagkaroon lang tayo ng awareness dun na ang ruling pala sa Pilipinas, ang majority pala before sa Pilipinas ay um, more on liberal, yon. At hindi natin pa alam yung and we thought for the longest time, akala natin yung liberals, they are the nationalists, 'di ba? Kasi ang tagal na nilang parang naging majority sa Pilipinas. So, I hope magkaroon din talaga and there will be a minority or opposition in the legislative who can assert themselves na hindi yung parang lang, constructive criticism lang. And I like how Senator Imee is leading them. Though I hindi naman natin siya maaanong opposition, 'di ba, Justin? But I hope the likes of her can be one of the
30 seconds.
in the opposition team. Yun lang.
Alright, thank you very much, Zoya. Von, ikaw po. 2 minutes po.
Okay. So, I would agree to Sir Box's arguments na pero wag nating lahatin. Meron pa rin yung mga legislators na malinis na naman talaga yung intention. However, the majority of the politicians right now in the legislative, well, ika nga, matagal na yung tinatawag yung House of Representatives na the kaladkarin group. Bakit? Kung saan ang admin, lilipat. Yung sa Senate, somehow, there is a light in the tunnel na kasi there are 24 independent republics. However, kahit na malalakas yung convictions ng opposition, in the end, it's the people who will choose and ang nangyayari, minsan, yung ibang mga voters, hindi nila na iniintindihan yung essence sa kailangan may mag-checks and balances sa legislative. Kung sinong yung sikat, ayun yung bobotohin. Ayan, tuloy. Minsan, kapag walang checks and balances, tayong lahat mga Pilipino, nahihirapan rin. Kami, given that Senator Reyes Hontiveros and Coco Pimentel are the only oppositionist in the Senate, kahit nga ako, may reservations rin ako kay Sen Coco Pimentel because of his previous
30 seconds po.
Okay, that's it, gamer.
Alright, thank you very much po. Ethan, 2 minutes po.
Dagdagan ko lang po yung mga sinabi nila. Totoo po yung talagang after elections, kung sino yung pinaka-dominanting party, dun lilipat lahat. yung checks and balances na karaniwang nasa gobyerno, nawawala na rin. Yun lang po.
All right. So that's a very interesting first round, gamer. Thank you so much for those who answered. Medyo
Thank you,
yun, ano,
guys.
yeah, medyo na-tap na yung second question natin dun sa mga sa mga sagot. So pagsasamahin ko the second and third question. So para lang just to get things going. Dahil medyo nasagot na nila kanina. The question is, sorry, hello everybody, welcome. We're now talking about the two houses of the legislative. So, and nandun pa lang kami sa the weak opposition. So we have, pinag-usapan din namin kanina, do you think the current opposition is weak? And our next question is rather interesting. Do you think a stronger opposition is necessary? So with just two senators and the Makabayan bloc, do you think, what do you think they should do to further their cause? Or for a better laws, for the check and balances? So ano ba yung mga kailangan gawin ng opposition to become stronger? And then, this is actually a question from Northern. Sabi niya, we're thinking of, medyo na-tap na ni Zoya. We're thinking of the opposition being Coco Pimentel, Enrizo Antiveros, or the Makabayan bloc, like Kabataan Party List, or the teachers something. But do you think that there are other legislators who are fulfilling the role of being a responsible opposition, or the fiscalizers, and the likes of what Ms. Zoya's mentioned earlier, Senator Imee, who is always asking questions about the RCEP, about the EDCA, etc. And also Senator Escudero, who also raised his concerns regarding the Maharlika investment fund. So anyone who wants to answer the question?
Anyone? Any two? Fun. Kapo, 3 minutes.
Okay. On question 1B, do you think a stronger opposition is necessary? Of course naman. Siyempre. Kasi in the first place, if you want checks and balances, a stronger opposition is necessary. We would agree on that. And anong gagawin para mag-further yung cause? Okay. Simple as bumaba sa tao, check the constituencies kung ano ba talaga yung problema, and then report to the legislature na ganun na nangyayari. May mga, yung hindi matay-matay na SOGI law. Ito, very contentious. Yung anti-divorce bill na that Sen Risa, I think, is trying to push on that. So far, yun ang dalawang, the SOGI for the equality cause and the anti-divorce for the women eh. And yung strengthening sana ng universal healthcare, given that the public institutions right now umatras na sa PhilHealth eh. Ang pwede magamitan ng PhilHealth is yung sa private hospitals eh. And sa 1C, are there other senators like fulfilling the role of being a responsible opposition? We can say, because until now, you know the dynamics of politics. It's very fluid. We don't know if sino ba talaga yung totoong opposition, totoo at responsableng opposition, sino yung nagpapalastikan lang at sariling interes lang ang sariling interes ang kanyang inuuna over sa bayan.
Alright. Next po. Soya, ikaw na.
Ayun. Hindi ba si Ethan?
Ay, sorry, si Ethan pa.
Oo, sige, siya muna.
Yes, we need a stronger opposition. It is a necessary. Bakit po? Kasi ang thinking ng iba, when it comes to having an administration like now, we have a super majority administration, they will think na wala nang checks and balances kasi nga wala namang umu-oppose, wala namang vocal sa opposition nila. So I think stronger opposition is a need for our country. Thank you.
Go ahead, Zoe.
Ayun, tawag dito. Kasi 'di ba, ang hirap ng posisyon ngayon nung mga matagal ng those legislators who we consider opposition. Yung mga ano na, mga kilala na laging nasa opposition or maybe sila sila din yung ano, kumbaga they were in the majority but then again since nagkaroon na ng kumbaga nagbago na yung ano dynamics ngayon ng ano ng legislative. So ang tingin na sa kanila sila na talaga yung mag-o-oppose lagi dun sa ano sa administration. So mahirap yung position nila because lagi tayong ano, laging magkakaroon ng malis or doubt dun sa kanilang ano, sa kanilang intention. But then if we can hear something objective and they can remove and they can prove that they can remove politicking from their activities, then maybe kasi makikita naman natin yung mga politicking, yung halimbawa mga pa-statements nila diyan, 'di ba? Although sometimes hindi naman yun kasama sa mga committee ano nila, pero kailangan pa rin nilang mag ano diyan, mag-send out ng mga statements. So minsan medyo disappointing siya, 'di ba? So mahirap talaga yung posisyon ng ano ngayon, ng opposition. But if they can prove to us that they can be objective, then maybe mas magkakaroon sila ng ano, ng credibility. So yun lang, thank you. Yeah, and additional maybe from that they can ano, they can represent a stronger ano, stronger opposition. Ayun lang.
All right. Thank you, Zoe. Si Von and then si Sir Boxy. Go ahead, Von.
Okay. So, yung dadagdag ko lang na actually with this set, hindi tayo halayo if we compare it in history. In the case of Singapore, that the Parliament of Singapore, yung Workers' Party ay laging nasa minority talaga ever since. And the PAP, the People's Action Party, had been in history being in the supermajority until medyo nag-grow. Because we stick on principle, because they have always stick on principles. And we hopefully learn from those lessons in the Parliament of Singapore. In order to have a stronger opposition, you need to have firm principles, and at the same time, you need to tailor fit legislations that could benefit the sectors of the society.
All right. Thank you, Von. Go ahead, Sir Boxy.
Kailangan talaga ng malakas na opposition. Yun lang question ng kailangan ba natin ng malaking gobyerno na nakikialam on every aspect of life, or a smaller government na bahala na kayo sa buhay, just ang gawa lang niya para i-ensure ang level playing field. Ang problema, sa tingin ko, ang opposition trying to become an opposition, ito ngang mga Makabayan bloc. Ang problema, even them, they don't know what communism is. Assuming, let's take it for the sake of argument, mas maganda ang communism. Ang problema, there is this guy on Twitter, an American guy, who grew up in the Philippines up to teenager ata siya, Amerikano ito lumaki dito, so he knows the Philippines very well. But now he's a professor sa Stanford. Ang atake niya sa communist natin dito, they don't even know the ideology. Ang sinasabi niya, fake na communist itong mga nandito. Kasi they quote, kagaya ni Joma Sison when he was alive, sino ba ang supporter niya? Mga oligarchs din. Yun ang pinipilit ni Joseph Escalizer. Sabi niya, paano naging communist yan? Ang supporters niya, mga oligarchs. So talagang pumapasok yung self-interest. Yun lang sa question ng dapat bang makaialam ang gobyerno in all matters of day-to-day life ng Filipinos, or they should step out and let the Filipinos or the Pinoys do what they have to do. And then, ang pakialam na lang ng gobyerno, yung i-ensure na may level playing field. Sabi ng mga communists, it's got to be equality of outcome. Yun ang debate doon. Or should we ensure just equality of opportunity? Yun hindi pinagde-debatean yun eh. Yung mga ganong klase bang pag-iisip, we don't have that. Kaya ang hirap magkaroon ng opposition. But we need an opposition. Yun lang.
Thank you, Sir Boxy.
Thank you very much, Sir Boxy.
Yes, yeah. Sa tao, ano po, nanawagin po kami kay Reform na gawing co-host si Gamer. Maraming salamat sa iyo, Sir Boxy, and thank you very much everyone for answering the question. So, after natin pag-usapan the weak opposition, pag-usapan naman natin ang mga neophytes. Ito yung mga first-time legislators. Kumbaga parang sa high school and college, mga freshmen, mga parang baguhan. Yung, we all understand that, right? Like for example, when even naman sa trabaho, there's the seniority. So, ganun din pala when it comes to the legislative. Yeah. And so mag-start tayo muna sa House of Representatives. In the House of Representatives, meron tayong 86 new legislators after the 2022 elections. Some names, we actually read them, hear them, or watch them sa news for various things. It's either they are strong opposition to a certain bill, or merong mga decorum issue, or they filed good bills, or the familiar last name. Since naman, congressmen are actually in a local perspective. So I just crafted the question like this. May mga first time congressman or first time neophyte congressman ba kayo na narinig the past year, and alam mo yun, nakarating sa radar ninyo, and why? What's ano yung topic? Ano yung pinag-usapan? Anyone who wants to answer?
Anyone? Von.
Yes, there. Vaughn, go ahead, Vaughn.
Okay, one of the best example of a neophyte congressman, although hindi kami magkapareho ng spectrum nito, but Raul Manuel from Kabataan Party List, actually he's one of the from the opposition bloc of the HOR na nagque-question talaga, especially sa kasagsagan ng Maharlika Investment Fund. And on the local setting naman, given that Raul Manuel is from Iloilo, he also questioned sinong familiar dito ng Ungka flyover na nagkaroon ng engineering, I don't know if the term is correct, engineering malfunction or something na medyo defective yung pagkakagawa ng Ungka flyover because of the foundation itself. Yung lupang kinatitirikan ng isang pundasyon ay mahina at until now, parang under investigation rin eh. Yun talaga, mabongka talaga yung mga taga Makabayan block. Let's not deny it. And then, ang naririnig ko lang mga neophytes na sikat siguro si Yeda Romualdez, yung asawa ni Speaker Martin Romualdez. And so far, yun lang.
All right. Thank you, Vaughn. Anyone else who wants to
Sir
know?
Boxy.
Sir Boxy, go ahead.
I've been trying to monitor the movement or the things yung push ni Robin Padilla. I was interested in that.
Yes.
Kasi,
Sir Boxy, next question pa yan. Nasa Congress pa lang tayo. Yeah.
nasa
tayo?
Congress. Mamaya na ako. Mamaya na
Okay lang, sir.
ako.
Next question, Sir Sam.
Yeah.
Thank
Kuya
you.
Marcos.
Yes.
Okay. Sa lower house pa pala muna tayo. Ano? Kasi doon sa mga picture nyo ay nandun si Sandro. No? I think Sandro, before he became a full-time congressman, he was working sa office ni then majority floor leader na Martin Romualdez. Ano? So he had plenty of training. Kaya immediately after he assumed yung Congress post niya is naging assistant, majority floor leader. Ano ba yung point? Hindi ko na maalala yung position ni Sandro Marcos ngayon. So, I don't think he can be considered as a neophyte in terms of legislative work. So, no? Tapos, sino pa to? Yung sa progressive bloc, yung bata, sino ba yung isa? Si Manuel? Ano?
Yeah. Ano pa na niya?
Ayun.
Manuel.
I think he used to be very noisy nung nag-umpisa. Pero lately, I don't know, naging tahimik na siya. Probably he's enrolled taking his PhD or master's degree somewhere. Kaya medyo, andun na yung concentration niya sa ngayon, siguro. Pero, I've read somewhere na he's a very smart guy. Cum laude pa yata yan from UP, ano? He's very promising, and ganun lang. And then let's give them the opportunity as startups na medyo they are prone to make some mistakes initially. So parang tayo din, no? When we started sa unang trabaho natin, ganun din tayo. And, they are no different from us. Ganun lang yun. And then let's give them the time. Isa pa akong babae, I think in the picture, si
Tolentino.
Yes, from Cavite yan. Ano? Ganun lang nga. Bata pa at medyo possibly fresh from school pa. Halos kakagraduate pa lang o kukuha pa lang nila ng kanilang degree. Kaya medyo yung pagiging bata ay nandun pa sa kanila talaga. It will let's give them time para mag-grow into the positions they are occupying now. Wag naman yung puro naggagarik-gikan sila na nahuli ng camera ay parang napakasama na nilang tao. It's part of growing up. Ganun lang yun. Let's be patient sa kanila. Yun lang muna. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Anyone else? Meron ba kayong narinig na parang congressmen or legislators from the lower house who made it to your timeline? Yeah.
For me, dito sa Manila kasi we have 3 neophyte congressmen na galing na silang city council. So I think alam naman na nila, kabisado nila yung trabaho ng legislative. Pero ang kaibahan nga na siguro is they're in national level. That's Congressman Ernesto Junicio, Congressman Joel Chua, and Congressman Erwin King. Hindi ko sila district. Ang nasa akin kasi na district is District 6, which is si Congressman Benny Abante. But I think those 3, silang tatlo, I think they did a good job on their first year in office. And I think kaya naman nilang gampanan yung pwesto nila for the next years of their term. Yun lang po.
Yes, thank you so much, Ethan. Yun nga, no, parang pag nasa level na natin. Just an excerpt, parang madami amongst dun sa 86 the new congressmen are legacies, which is the next generation of their families.
Yeah.
So that also, yeah, that also includes Congressman Sandro Marcos, diba?
Yung sa amin
Yeah, I
din,
want, ikaw din.
yung second district ng Ilocos, Singson, si Megan. So, I never heard her name before.
Pero bago, it's a new generation of the last family, diba?
But she never run to any position prior to that.
Yeah. So, yun, I can only just hope that yung girth, yung giggle, yung giggle ng mga younger generation would be translated into a good legislation. So, yun na nga, nandito na tayo si Sir Buxy ang unang magkasagot dito. Yeah. Our next question is, ang ating mga first-time senators ay si Senator Padilla, Tulfo, and Villar. Although, as mentioned to me by Gamer last night, na si Senator Villar was a congressman, so it's also just like the same thing. Pero let's talk about our first-time senators in the 19th Congress. We want to open the floor to any comment or reaction to their performance as a senator. So, ano pa lang po tayo ha? 19th Congress, first session. So, we're talking about Senator Padilla, Senator Tulfo, and Senator Villar. Go ahead, Sir Boxy.
Sayang yung kay Robin Padilla. I think mukhang hindi na niya alam kung paano itutulak yung federal government eh. I think he does not understand the principle behind that eh. Kaya hindi niya maitulak eh. Sayang. It's the principle of subsidiarity, no? That principle says that you should allow the lower body or a smaller body to operate and the bigger body or the higher body not to interfere. In other words, kung kayang gawin ng kamay, ba't makikialam yung ulo? Something like that, no? In other words, pabayaan mong gumalaw yung smaller body. Kung gayang gawin ng janitor, ba't makikialam yung presidente for efficiency? Something along that line, he should do a research on trying to push that. Kayang i-push eh. Ang roadblock lang sa federal government is yung itong mga fifth dam, itong mga kanya-kanyang paghahari, baka palakasin lang yung mga anong tawag dito, mga local oligarchs eh. Yun ang kinakabahan nila eh. But that can be overcome. Sayang, dapat may tumulong kay Robin Padilla, but he's on the right track. But I think he's still trying to feel his way, kaya wala. Or I don't know, he does not have the mental capacity to do it. I don't know. I should not say that probably. Yun lang.
Thank you, Sir Boxy. Gamer, who's next?
Ethan ang susunod.
Well, alam niyo po, nung pagpasok ng election returns during the election night, I am shocked na nanguna talaga si Senator Robin Padilla over Senator Raffy Tulfo. Because if you will titingnan natin yung mga polls, Asia survey, nangunguna talaga si Senator Tulfo. But ang galing lang when it comes to the election results na yung kay Senator Tulfo na lang, nadala niya yung audience niya from his show, nadala niya sa Senado, which is a good thing. Ibig sabihin lang na talagang pinagkakatiwalaan talaga ng sambayanan si Senator Tulfo. And I think his performance mas maayos pa sa other senators. Kay Senator Robin naman, medyo off na siya sa akin kasi If you remember, di ba, na-call out siya dun sa pagsusuklay ng mustache niya during a Senate hearing. I think nakaka-off lang talaga siya kasi it's not a proper decorum during a Senate hearing to do such things. Si Senator Villar naman, literal na wala na talaga tayo narinig. Talagang tinupad yung tahimik lang na promise. But I think to those three of them, si Senator Tulfo talaga ang may magandang performance bilang senador natin.
Alright, thank you very much, Ethan. Von, ikaw po.
Okay. So, first with Senator Padilla, I would agree sa statement kanina ni Sir Books. Sablay talaga si Robin. And even ako, na-shock ako nun eh, na naging number 1 siya. Ha? Napapagulat ako. But the performance, hindi siya deserve of being in the number 1 top spot. Senator Tulfo, masasabi ko 50-50. I will not elaborate further kasi may times na tama siya, may times na sablay. Mark Villar, ba't ang tahimik ng mokong na yan? Ang alam ko lang na kumukuda-kuda lang dyan eh, yung nanay niya, si nanay niya, nakalimutan ko na tuloy. Si Cynthia,
Cynthia
yun
Villar.
ang kumukuda. Yun ang mahilig kumuda. Kumuda na sablay pa naman. Yun, so far, yun lang ang masasabi ko sa tatlong baguhang senador.
Okay na ba yun, Von? Sorry. Thank you very much, Von. Zoya, ikaw na.
Oo, yun. Actually, yung for the new neophytes, yun ba yung term natin?
Yes,
It, kasi kung dadalasan nila yung pag-ingay nila like for sino to? Si Tulfo, di ba? Kasi, tawag dito, mas marami siyang blunders na magagawa. Nasa first year pa lang tayo. And it will take a toll on his reputation, in his popularity, di ba? So, I think before siya laging magsalita, tsaka yung minsan iwasan niya na rin yun dun sa program niya kasi para sa akin compromising yun eh. Na nasa Senate ka na tapos gumagawa ka pa ng program mo. Na which is hindi na rin naman everybody realizes lately na yung public service niya is really compromising yung dun sa justice system din. Dahil kumbaga natatamper yung statements and evidences, 'di ba? And it's proven dun sa nangyari kay medyo yung kay lang lately kay Aura. So yun, for the rest, kumbaga for everybody, the more you the more you speak, if you are a neophyte, then mas lalo kang magkakaroon ng pagkakamali. It's good to observe, but dapat proactive din sila, maging visible din sila. So yun lang. Thank you, Gamer.
Thank you very much, Zoya. Sir Marcos, ikaw po.
Okay, si Robin, I think it's wrong na, ewan ko kung bakit siya yung pinili nilang upo dun sa Committee on Constitutional Amendments, or ganun, ewan ko, ganun yung para siya yung nagpo-propose ng constitutional amendments nga. Napaka-weak. He's coming from a very weak point kasi hindi talaga siya abogado. And to think na first term senator siya. In fact, first term niya as legislator. Tapos yung isang napaka-importante committee na mag-revise mismo ng pinaka-importanting ng constitution mismo ng ating bansa. Siya, yun pa yung hinawakan niya. No? That's a completely disjointed na option. Well, on the other hand, mukhang walang pag-asa yung constitutional amendments under PBBM kasi I think he wants to avoid it kasi it's a core constitution. Hindi nga naman maganda na ang isang Marcos pa yung mag-amend ng constitution na yan. So I can probably say na for the next until the end of term ni BBM hindi gagalawin yung 1986 Constitution. So bahala na yung next na administration para dyan. And at kung ako kay Senator Robin Padilla, kalimutan na, sayang lang yung oras na ginugugol niya dyan na kung ano yung constitutional amendment pa rin ng chinachamp niya. Wala pag-asa yan. Not as in, maski ipusta ko yung bahay ng kapitbahay ko. Tapos yung mga naging nasita si Senator Robin dahil sa pagsusuklay niya ng kanyang bigote in front of camera during a Senate hearing. No? That's definitely a no-no. I hope sana naman ang in-expect natin sa kanya is I don't think na nanghingi ba siya nag-sorry ba siya? Hindi naman siguro. Parang sabi niya, wala naman daw sa batas na nagsasabing mali yung mag-supply sa harap ng camera. Gano'n. No? Pati yung reasoning na gano'n is it speaks a lot kung ano yung personality ni Senator Robin. I hope he can change that. I hope, hindi ko alam kung sino yung mga nasa staff niya and presumably mga class A1 na mga lawyers yan. They should advise him how to behave like a top-notch senator. Kasi when you become a number 1, number 2 senator, you are already being seen as a contender for higher office. Ganun yan. So he should act like one. He should deserve that accolade. No? Si Senator Tulfo naman, I think ang popular dito is si Senator Tulfo kasi lahat ng issue parang sinasakay niya talaga. So wala tayong hindi ko pwedeng sabihin siya ay talagang champion ng agriculture dahil hindi lang naman agriculture. Ganun, ano? I'm used to see something like that kasi pagdating sa education, alam ko si Senator ganito dapat ang takbuhan natin dahil siya yung nakakaalam niya dahil concern niya talaga yung education ganito. Something like that. Pero si Senator Tulfo, he's all over the place. Sabi nga ng previous speaker is the more he talks, the more mistakes he makes. Pero we have to accept the fact that Senator Tulfo is obviously being groomed to take higher office. So yung image building niya is ongoing na. They are projecting him as a take charge guy at gano'n. Kaya let's not expect na magbabago sa kanya yung ganyan. He will continue to do what he's doing now. Ganun lang yan. Senator Villar, yung tahimik pero performer, even as a DPWH secretary during the time ni Duterte, talagang ganun lang siya. Hindi bibihira mo makita sa mga press briefing, pero yung trabaho ng DPWH can speak for himself. At sa Senate, ganun din siya, tahimik lang. Which is basically, ganun din ang trabaho ni yung tatay niya, si Senator Manny Villar during his time. And I think Senator Villar is going to, I hope he can also aspire for higher office in the future. Let's see kung meron siyang mga magic wand under his belt. Ano po ba? Sino po ba? Yun lang muna. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much po. Kuya Boxy, go na po.
Ewan ko kung dapat tanungin, ba't nakakapasok sa Senate itong mga kagaya ni Robin Padilla, Bong Revilla, Lito Lapid? dapat mga TikTok senator dapat nandun pa. Ang mahirap kasi sa botante natin, ang tingin sa mga senador, parang pang-barangay ata eh. Like the thing ang nakakainis pag may storm kunyari, they want the president to be there. Dapat ba yung mga ganung request, presidents, senators, and congressmen are policy makers, no? Dapat ba sila nasa front line and all these things? Ewan ko. And then the other one, ang talagang mahirap wala tayong partido. Let's take for example sa state si Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, no? The most stupid woman that became a congressman sa states. Talagang may pagkatanga, no? Yet, naitulak niya yung Green New Deal just by being stupid. Kasi she was spouting a party line. Nag-stick siya dung party line. Naging punchline nga siya sa sa mga comedy shows. Kasi tanga talaga eh. And yet, she was able to push the Green New Deal. Si Robin siguro, kung may partido tayong malakas, maski na if he was the most stupid guy, basta ano lang niya, sabihin lang niya yung party line, lulusot at lulusot ang bill eh. Kaya lang dito eh, kanya-kanyang lakad eh. Kaya, ewan ko, it goes back to TikTok senator at saka mga vested interest eh.
Parap.
Yun ang mahirap eh. Yun lang.
Thank you. Thank you, Kuya Boxy. Huwag mo lang magating TikTok. Kaya mo siya sumayaw. Alright. Kay Ethan. Ethan, 2 minutes.
Well, kung tutuusin po, sorry for using this word, pero palpak talaga yung prinopose ni Senator Robin na constitutional amendment. Bakit? Una, hindi siya priority. We are still recovering from the pandemic. And then ikaw, na new senator, magpa-file ka ng constitutional amendment, hindi siya na-aakma sa panahon. Now, yung sinasabi po kanina, Sir Buxi, tama ba yung sa Green New Deal? Yung sa Green New Deal, siguro na ipasa yun sa Congress kasi nga may big support ng Democrats. If we'll check the voting list, kasi nakikita yun sa US Congress, makikita mo na most of the Democrats, majority Democrats, kahit na sumatotal lahat ng Republicans, tumutol din, most of the majority Democrats ay nakasuporta doon. So, una, palpak yung bill, palpak yung amendment, kalawaw, kulang yung suporta. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Alright. Thank you very much, Ethan. Marcos, go ahead. 2 minutes po.
Yung na-erase lang ni Boxy kanina yung tungkol sa why do we end up with these senators, ano? Kasi let me put in my 2 cents regarding dito. Kasi ako rin I'm frustrated with this kind of thing na ang dami-daming mga qualified na mga senatorial candidates, they did not make it. Tapos yung mga komedyante, mga ganito, nandun. Talagang name recall talaga yung pinaka-biggest na factor sa senatorial election. No? I think 12 yung kandidato na isusulat sa balota. And karamihan ng mga botante talaga ay they make a list sa bahay nila. And sometimes pagdating sa senatorial candidates, ang talagang concentration ng mga botante ay yung local elections, governor, mayors, blah blah. Pagdating sa mga senators, talagang kung sino lang yung kursunada nilang iboto, yun lang. And probably, at minsan yan 4, 6, ganun lang number ng pangalan na nasa balota nila. And dahil nga hindi nila maalala lahat yung pangalan ng mga kandidato dahil taga Mindanao, tapos yung botante taga Luzon, hindi nakita lang niya sa TV na gano'n. So, they tend to vote kung sino yung maalala nila. And normally, yung mga komedyante, yung mga artista, yung mga action stars, sila yung madaling matandaan. So they end up na sila yung na kung halimbawa naglista ako ng 6 na kandidato kong senador, tapos gusto ko pang dagdagan, most likely ang maaalala ko lang na idagdag dyan yung mga pangalan ng artista. Kaya they make it to the list. At you can imagine kung lahat ng majority ng botante ganyan ang nangyayari. So they end up being number 1, number 2 sa after the election.
Opo.
Thank you.
Thank you. Von, ikaw. 2 minutes lang po. Tapos si Sir Bong.
Okay. Yun na nga yung problema sa atin. Tayong mga Pilipino mismo, pumipili ng mga kingkoy rin sa legislatura. Prangkahan na lang tayo ng usapan, ha? Kaya tuloy, ito, mapa-kongreso man o senado, nagka-kingkoyan na rin. Kasi tayo, mga tao, mahilig lang tayo sa popularity contest na kung sino yung sikat, kahit siguro tagilid naman sa possible legislative performance, yun ang binoboto natin. Tayo talagang mga Pilipino, hindi tayo nadadala. Oo, boto lang tayo ng boto. Tayo rin naman magrereklamo hanggang sa huli. And then, mawawala rin yung mga tiwala natin sa institusyon. Paano natin maibabalik yung institusyon natin kung hindi tayo rin naman ang boto ng tamang mga legislador? Simple as that.
Alright, thank you very much, Von. Zoe. Si Kuya Bong pala, sorry. Kuya Bong, 3 minutes po.
Good evening. Kay Robin, malaki ang palpak niya kasi ang sinulong niya, economic chacha, nakapaloob pa sa negative list. Pero kung sinulong niya sa economic chacha, which is yung sinasabi ko nga, bakit hindi niya sinulong yung tawag ganito, yung processing plant, petrochemicals, at saka lahat ng mga industries dapat yan ang sinulong niya. Ano ba sinulong niya? Sa lupa, education, sa health, pati yung sa kuryente na transmission line. Hawak ng negative list yan na nakapaloob sa national security natin yan eh. Naglagay na nga ng EO si Duterte dyan na hindi pwedeng galawin yan at hindi pasukan ng FBI. Kasi nga, pag nakontrol na yan ng FBI, ano mangyayari sa atin? So, yung mga importante na para sa gobyerno, para sa tao, hindi na mapoprotektahan ng gobyerno kung FBI ang makahawak dyan. So bakit hindi? Ang tanong dun big question mark sa akin yan eh. Kung talagang gusto nila ng trabaho, kasi lagi nilang ini-aim, trabaho para sa Pilipino. Pero hindi nila ginawa yung trabaho na processing plant, ilan ng mineral natin mining dito, pag nagkaroon ng processing plant yan, ilan ang trabaho niyan? Milyon. Sa petrochemicals, kailangan natin ng abono para sa agrikultura, ilan ang magkakaroon ng trabaho dyan? Milyon. So, yung mga ganong sistema, hindi niya naisip, o mayroong nagbuyo sa kanya, o mayroong naglabi sa kanya na ito ang gagawin natin. Kasi ito'y kapakinabangan natin. Yun ang nakikita ko, dun siya pumalpak. Kay kay Tulfo, alam naman natin kung saan siya sumikat. Ang pinagtataka ko lang, sa tagal niya na sa Tulfo in action, nasa lubong niya lahat ang problema mula sa kabataan hanggang sa matatanda. At kung anong ugat ng mga problema, wala siyang pinasang batas para doon. Alam niya ang problema ng security guard, wala siyang pinapagawang batas doon. Alam niya ang problema ng hamak ng isang vendor na laging tinataboy sa kalye, wala siyang batas na ano. So ano diyan si Tulfo sa Senado? Pinatakbo siya diyan at may tama ang kanina na mayroong plano ang sa kabilang kubol para sa diyan kasi malakas yung Tulfo in action niya, dadalhin sa diyan, siyang i-groom diyan for the next administration, for the next mataas na opisyal o mataas na pag-upo niya sa susunod, hindi natin alam kung kailan. Kasi nakikita natin wala siyang ginagawang batas ngayon para doon sa mga naaapi na kakampi siya ng naaapi pero wala siyang batas na ginawa para sa mga naaapi. Puro lang siya grandstanding ang ginagawa niya for investigasyon. Wala pang galang, sinisigawan pa niya. Senador ba naman may turingan may pinag-aralan mo naman may turingan pero kung umasta siya para siyang kanto. So anong mangyayari sa Senado natin kung mayroong isang kagaya? Ang lahat ng mga senador natin ay ang gaganda mangungusap, kagalang-gala. Pero siya, lumalabas siya parang hudtog. So, anong mangyayari sa listatura natin? Di ba? Nakakaya lang sa totoo.
Wrap up po.
Sige, Teo. Susunod na lang, sunod.
Kuya Bong, wag kang galit. Ako lang to.
Hindi,
Hindi,
hindi
okay
naman
lang
galit.
yan.
Ganun lang talaga ako. Alam
Baka
niyo, sorry.
na-end na
Alam niyo.
talaga si
Ah,
si Kuya Bong. Ayun,
Hindi
thank
kasi
you,
ako
Kuya Bong.
nakakarinig ng konti eh. Kaya ganun, napapalakas ko yung boses.
Go, Zoe.
Ayun. Ayun. Ano nga, sana nga, yung sa mga senators, hindi ko alam kung si Ethan ba yung nagsabi o si Von, na senators yung binoboto natin, but we base it still on personality politics. Minsan nga naisip ko, sana magkaroon ng requirements kung legislative na yung tawag dito, yung tatakbuhan mo na position, dapat at least meron kang experience or even one term sa local government, 'di ba? Para na-experience mo kung paano magpatakbo or maging part ng ng government, 'yan, gano'n. Tapos naalala ko lang kaya lang ako nagtataka, naalala ko lang yung kay Robin, yung ka-i-start pa lang 'di ba after niya gusto niya maging na siya, majority floor leader ba, parang gano'n. Kasi siya daw yung number one. So na talaga ako do'n, "Oh, ito na siya," parang gano'n. Pero alam naman natin nage-gets ko yung sinasabi ni Kuya Bong kanina, eh. Somebody pushed, Robin to run for Senate kasi, malakas yung hatak niya because of the, Duterte administration na who is pro, sabihin na nating medyo may empathy sa sa South, sa mga Muslim, yon. And everybody's expecting him to represent the Muslim community. Pero ang nangyari iba pala yung niya. But, siyempre marami pa rin namang agenda yun sila, kung sino man yung grupo na behind, Robin, 'di ba meron pang ibang agenda 'yan. And it will just serve them both kung ano yung gusto nila, naintindihan ni Sir Bong 'yan, but it's for another discussion na lang. So yun, naalala ko lang na gusto niya nun maging majority leader. So yun lang, thank you.
Thank you very much, Zoe. Von?
Si Von. Go ahead, Von.
Von? 1 minute.
Kung si Robin Padilla gustong mag-push ng con-con, di lang economic, ito, simplihan na lang natin. Kung gusto natin ng political reform through constitutional change, ito na nga, on my personal point, baguhin first, hindi babaguhin yung time limits, kundi baguhin yung qualifications sa pagiging pangulo, vice pangulo, pati na rin sa mga legislador. Kung gusto ni Alan Peter Cayetano na maging katulad ng Singapore, gawin na mahigpit yung qualifications for being a legislator or being a member of a legislature or even being a president or vice president. Simple as that. If we want to bring back the glory days of the legislature, of the Philippine legislature, pre-martial, then so be it.
All right. Thank you, Von. You want to say something about it, gamer?
Go just, ikaw.
Yeah. Ay, wala akong binoto dun sa tatlong bagong senators. Pero I would like to offer another perspective kasi alam nyo, although I also voted for people with credentials na parang maging legislators, may mga nagiging successful na senators, tulad ni Nito Lapid at saka ni Bong Revilla, which are basically, we don't know, alam na parang in exterior sense, parang hindi naman sila nag-work well. I always say this, I've been saying this, na ang pinakamagaling na legislative staff sa buong Senado ay kay Bong Revilla. So I think they just need to have the right heart para dun sa trabaho, and then get the right staff Mga ganon. Ay, malaking bagay yun. Um, Again, wala akong binoto sa tatlong nabanggit. Pero if I want to highlight something, I think it's Mark Villar. As in, as siguro until now, he will still not get my vote. Pero, ang galing how he was able to defend the MIF regardless of the whole thing. Kung napanood nyo the plenary session, he answered all of the questions as in for hours. It was not just an hour. I think it was 5 hours, 6 hours, and it is against a bar top notcher, ha, mind you, and it's against Escudero. I mean, all of the senators who interpolated, he knows it. He knows how to answer them by heart. So it is something that parang I took note of. Tapos, if you will also know, nakapasa din the one product, one town, one product, the version of that in the Senate is also from Mark Villar. So it's something pero last na. If there's something about Robin that you should take note of, it is his attendance talaga. Alam nyo, uh, Cheese Escudero is a good senator. He is a smart senator, but he's not always there. You have to remember that the committee hearing will not go further without quorum, and all of the committee heads can count on um, Robin Padilla Robin Padilla to show up there. So parang it's still a thing for me. Isang malaking bagay pa din siya as a senator. Nagre-rebut yata si Zoe Gamer.
Go, Zoya.
Oo, quick lang. Kasi di ba yan na, nabanggit mo na si kumbaga kung mga personalities lang, di ba? Or celebrities, nabanggit mo na si Bong Revilla and Tito Lapid. The difference is, kasi, di ba, both have experiences sa local government. Kaya nga, di ba, parang mas maganda kung at sa atin naman yon, nasa voters naman yon, na kumbaga, iboto nyo, yung makikita nyo kahit na personality sila or a celebrity sila, at least meron silang experience serving the local government. Yung difference ng decorum nila and how they handle themselves, di ba? Iba. Because they know they are already part of the government and they need to represent themselves better. So yun lang.
Yeah, magigibat, I remember one time, Padilla helped with the peace talks sa Mindanao before. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And he also served sa military. This is something that, mayroon ako narinig one time na don't underestimate Padilla. We may not know something that, parang may nagsabi sa kanya, parang, I don't remember the name, kasi I didn't vote for him. I don't remember the name, pero he speaks highly of Padilla for some sort. May not we may not see something very statesman of him right now, o meron siyang ginagawa as a senator, but let's see. He might bring something to the table at the right time. 1 year is still early. Same as kay Dito Lapid before when he become senator, mediocre yung gawa niya before eh. Pero tignan mo, pang ilang term na niya, di ba? He is impressive. Ayun. Sino kanina?
Si Ethan muna before si Sir Voxy. Ethan, hello?
Siguro dagdagan ko lang po dun sa electing celebrities in local offices. Siguro po, if we're electing celebrities, they should at least hold public office. Like Senator Lito Lapid, naging governor naman siya ng Pampanga. So I think qualified naman siya maging senator. Pero siguro yung dapat ang maging mindset natin na kapag mag-e-elect tayo ng celebrities, they should be sure na nag-public office sila kahit once. Thank you po.
Sir Voxy na gamer.
Opo.
Importante yung sinabi mo, Jazz. Critical, they are all managers. Then that's the reason why they don't have to be the expert. All they have to do is organize the best experts around. managers don't need to be experts. They have to know how to manage experts. That's why they have to look around for the best experts around. Uh, uh, ang next question ko, ba't ang tahimik ng mga sila Legarda, sila I don't know what's going on. Sila Legarda, yung mga dati, sila Cayetano, Escudero. Why are they so quiet? What's going on? Yun lang.
Yeah, makes me wonder now. Ngayon ko lang din naisip. Although they're pag may mga signs of contention, Sir Boxy, they offer their stance on it. Parang yung sa RCEP, yun sa kung which committee yung Maharlika, etc. Anyway, we need to move
Ay, wait,
on to our next
wait.
topic. Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Gamer.
actually alam mo, gusto kong gusto ko si Mark Villar. Lalo nung secretary siya, he's able to pull out a problematic from a very problematic point to sa right of way for a very short amount of time. And I guess he will be doing good as a senator then. And yung mention mo kanina just na parang he's able to pull out Maharlika. Parang impressive para sa akin yun. Parang wow. Yun lang. Parang feeling ko magaling siyang negotiator eh. Parang magugoyo niya ako anytime.
Yes. Sir Bong, last ka na dito, and then we should move on to the leadership. Go ahead, Sir Bong.
Kaya naman na-deliver ng maganda ni Mark Villar doon. Alam naman natin kung anong niya, anong stand niya, anong negosyo nila. Ano. So, in terms of investment talaga, sana siya nga hawak niyan. Kasi, lalo na sa legislation. Kasi, gamay niya lahat eh. May negosyo magulang niya, nag-aaral siya sa ibang bansa. Yung managerial work niya, nakita niya doon sa ginawa niya sa DPWH. Siya lang ang bukod tanging isang sekretary na mag-inspection hindi tao sa tao. Ang inspection niya through drone. First time nangyari yun. Walang ibang nakagawang DPWH yan. Simula't simula pa na mag-inspection ay through drone. Kung para makikita mo yung input at saka output sa ginagawang kalsada, ginagawang tulay, ginagawa. So nababalanse niya, nakikita niya agad kung ilang araw, ilang taon, ilang buwan matatapos yung proyekto. So nakikita niya, ang natutunan niya sa ibang bansa, dinadala niya ngayon dito sa Pilipinas. Kaya very effective sa kanya yung MIF. Ako, pinanood ko to from day one eh. Kung paano niya interpolate yung MIF na yan. Talagang humanga ako sa kanya. Biro mo, isang baguhan na senador at saka mga datihang senador na mga abogado, mga top-notcher, ano niya, hindi naman sa napaupo niya, whatever, na ipaliwanag yan, na i-deliver niya ng maganda. Siguro na din dahil sa experience niya, dahil sa negosyo ng mga magulang niya, kung paano nga naman talaga mag-invest, kung kikita, at ano yung high risk at saka low risk, so naipapaliwanag niya. So maganda yung niya, maganda yung ginawa niya sa hoping na kung ano mang mga investment pang darating o pag in terms of sa pera, siya na sana ang pahawakin kasi magiging successful eh. Hindi kagaya nitong mga marami naman tayong palpak na naging senador na hindi nagiging maganda. Pero idadagdag ko lang, si Bong Revilla sa buong Senado, siya ang pinakamaraming batas na ipasa. Tama si Justin, magandang staffs niya. Pero sa lahat ng Senado mula nang naupo nung panahon ni Pinoy, o nung unang upo pa lang niya bilang isang senador hanggang ngayon, siya ang pinakamaraming batas na naipasa, na siya ang author, siya din nag-interpolate siya lahat, si Bong Revilla. Yun lang, thank you.
Thank you, Sir Bong. Yes. So we're now moving on to our next topic. The topics that we already discussed were the weak opposition and the neophytes. We're now moving on to the leadership. So medyo different how leadership works on the upper and lower house. Mas kabisado ko the Senate because you have Zubiri, Legarda, JV, Joel as the majority floor leader. Pero sa Congress kasi medyo maraming blocks. So dahil ang dami nila, so I can discuss it, but it's not really necessary for this. Pero I'm more familiar with the Senate setup. Again, our first question is about the House of Representatives. So according to Speaker Romualdez, he takes pride with the accomplishment of the House. He said that they filed over 9,600 measures and passed 33 out of the 42 bills considered as a priority legislation. I think marami din silang napasa na batas outside it. Yet, there are still rumors of his house ousters. This is the banner question. Do you think that the House of Representatives, the leadership of the House of Representatives, did a great job in its first year? Yeah, that's the first question. Go ahead, Ethan.
Gusto ko po munang i-address yung rumors ng ouster. What 2018 I was watching Sona.
Ethan, medyo mahina yung mo.
2018 po, I was watching the State of the Nation address. Then nagulat na lang ako while watching. Nakita ko si former President Gloria Arroyo nandun na sa Ross room. And yet, siya na yata yung speaker nun. Nakikita ko yung mga sumisigaw na siya. Siguro, let's wait na lang sa opening sa Sona kung papalitan si Speaker Romualdez, but I don't think hindi siya papalitan. Doon naman sa 33 out of 42 bills na napasa ng Congress, that's good. At least, ibig sabihin, I do think na magandang pagtatrabaho ng mga congressman kasi madali lang nakakapagpasa. Ako here in Manila kasi I'm watching the city council, and during the first year of the city council kasi lahat naman sila magkakaalyado, marami silang napasang batas. When it comes to the house, siguro dahil super majority sila, siguro kaya madami silang napapasang batas ng mabilisan. Yun lang po. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ethan. Anyone? Any two? Hello. Kuya Marcos, go ahead. 3 minutes po.
Yung sa lower house, I think nakatulong talaga yung pagiging veteranong congressman ni Martin Romualdez. And kaya ang daming, at saka yung being a super majority, madaling na ipapasa yung mga legislative measures. You can just imagine, typically, ang pinakamahirap talaga ipasa dyan yung normally yung budget bill. I think, ayun, at without much fanfare ay naipasa naman kaagad yung budget. Although may mga noises from some of the minorities regarding some yung confidential funds ng BP blah blah na inuupuso nila, pero at the end of the day talagang they have to vote on the measures, and being the majority talagang they were able to pass the bills seamlessly. Ano pa nga ba? I wonder kung how long yung ganitong situation ay magpe-persist na super majority. Kasi si Speaker Romualdez, I think mag-i-end yung term niya talaga this 2025, ano? So, yung position niya as a speaker will be up for grabs. Dito na makikita talaga yung positioning kung sino yung magiging successor, and we can only expect trouble. Siyempre magkakaroon ng girian tungkol dito. Pero I hope hindi naman ma-discarril yung pagpapasa ng mga bills sa lower house. Yun lang. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Sir, Kuya Boxy, go ahead po.
Sorry to say this, no, but the numbers to me doesn't mean anything. Are we moving to what direction? Ano ba vision, mission nila? Saan papunta yon? Dami, maski nasabihin ba niyang 1,000 napasa? For what? Sorry to say this, no? Hindi ko makita. Saan direction ba ang punta nila? Yun lang.
Yes, go ahead, Sir Bong.
Go Bong, Sir Bong. Go ahead.
Sa akin naman, okay lang. Okay lang naman si Martin kasi bawat administrasyon, alam naman natin yan, nakaupo talaga kalyado eh. Wala namang maging speaker na hindi kalyado ng Pangulo. Kasi nga may pinoprotektahan o merong sinusulong na para dun sa adikain nila para sa plano sa bayan. Ano? So, nandiyan yan yung mga batas. Lalo na sa budget. Ano? Lalo na ngayon, budget ngayon, lalaki tayo ngayon lalo. 5.7 trillion tayo tapos uutang tayo ng 2.4 trillion. So, diyan magkakaintindihan yan kung paano i-deliver nila yan. So, kasi laki ng uutangin talaga ngayon kaysa panahon ni Duterte. Kaya makikita natin, lalo-lalo na ngayon, kailangan maraming batas talaga ngayon, lalo na sa tax. Kasi nga, nag-deficit tayo sa utang. Kailangan natin yung magbayad ng utang. So, yung mga batas na naipasa o ipapasa pa, tingnan natin kung mapupustro ba yan. Kasi majority nga, ika nga, no? Ito nga lang chichirya na lang na to, junk foods na lang, marami nang umaaray. Marami na si Tolpo, umaano na. Nagbubunga nga na, hindi natin alam ha. Pero sa totoo lang, nakakatulong naman talaga yun sa bayan. Hindi na makikita yung diferensya. Alam natin na alangan naman kukunin pa sa iuutang pa yung ipampapagamot sa bayan. Hindi kukunin na natin ito sa pagkain na nakakasira sa kalusugan. Which is tama naman. Ako agree ako doon na yung mga matatamis at saka yung ano na yan mga maaalat na yan kukunan talaga ng tax. Kaysa man uutang tayo ng uutang para sa pangpagamot sa mga nagkaroon ng sakit sa kidney, diabetes, lahat-lahat. Gobyerno na lang ba lagi ang mangungutang. So sa atin din ang balik nun. May mga batas tayo na lalo na yung National Land Use Act. Kailangan talagang i-fast track na yan. Kasi habang hindi na pa-fast track yan, hindi natin alam kung ilan na may iiwan na agrikultura. So, marami pang batas talaga na kailangan talagang mai-push. Kailangan talaga kalyado, majority. Kasi kung magkakaroon ng diferensya, mahahati ang isang kongreso, hindi may susulong ang batas na maayos. Hindi magkakaroon ng kung ano yung plano ng gobyerno, anong plano ng administrasyon, nabibinbin lalo na yung IPIRA law, kailangan talagang amyendahan yan kasi maraming nakita. And 20 years in the making ng IPIRA law, ngayon lang nakita nila ang butas. So kung yan ay mahahati ang kongreso, mawawala ang majority dyan, mabibinbin na naman yan. Sino naman ang mag-aano dyan, mamamayagpag? Di siyempre, yung nandun sa batas na yun. So yun lang, thank you.
Thank you, Sir Bong. Okay, thank you so much for that answer. Ngayon, syempre, kung napag-usapan natin yung leadership ng Congress, we will also talk about the leadership sa Senate. To be fair, parehas silang may chismis na tanggalin if you're following the news lately. Pero ito kasi, if you will compare the accomplishment of the House of Representatives versus the accomplishments of the Senate, parang the public thinks that the Senate is not as productive as it should be. Do you think that there is a reason to believe that the Senate President Zubiri is not as effective as he think he is? Go ahead, Sir Marcos. Sir Marcos, hello. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, okay. Yung pala, no? Yung posisyon talaga ng Senate President sa House Speaker is they are always up for grabs, Kasi unlike the President sa presidency na once every 6 years mo lang pwedeng palitan yan. Yung sa both houses of Congress ay it's a parang kanyan. Any day of the year pwedeng magpalit if you have the numbers. So yung pagiging under threat ng position nila is parating nandyan. So isang trabaho talaga ng Speaker at ng Senate President is to make sure na lahat ng kasamahan nila sa House ay masaya para hindi sila magkaroon ng threat na pagpapalit. Um, kaya ang Senate kasi kung ano, so far they have supported yung lahat ng legislative programs ng ni BBM. We cannot really compare yung yung numbers ng bills na naipasa sa lower house compared sa Senate kasi obviously limited, konti lang yung numbers ng ng Senate at saka may ibang yung ibang bills talaga mas priority na gawin ng lower house rather than the Senate and vice versa. Typically, ang sa Senate, yung mga sa foreign relations related, yun ang talaga forte ng mga senador. And so far, wala namang I don't think there's any reason to say na mabagal or kulang yung kanila kasi they have delivered naman. Hindi talaga natin pwede i-compare na kung 10 yung naipasa sa lower house, dapat 10 din sa Senate, ano? It doesn't work that way talaga. You can just imagine yung MIF bill ay ang sabi ng lower house kung ano yung mapag-agrihan nyo dyan sa Senado, yun ang susundin namin na bill. Ganun. Ganun din ang default. No? Ano ho ba? Yun lang muna. Thank you.
Alright, thank you po. Kuya Bong, go po.
Hindi naman mamagal ang Senado. Ang problema lang, ang daming mga tinatawag na sumisingap na in the aid of legislation. Ano-ano ba to? Sa agricultural products na lang. Ilan yan? Asukal, sibuyas, karneng baboy, manok, bigas. Lahat yan ay inimbestigan. Halos at ang buong termino nitong 1 year na to doon, nakatutok yung investigasyon sa Senado. Kaya yung mga batas, nabinbing siya. Kasi mas maraming inuuna nga. Kasi for the aid of legislation, tapos meron na naman babagong papasok, matapos na itong babapasok. Hindi na mapag-argumentuhan kung ano yung batas na isusunod. At ilan lang sila, 24 senador, hindi naman kagaya sa Kongreso, ang dami pwede nilang dito ka, doon ka. So mapapahati mo yung magkakaroon ng komite, kung saan man yung mga komite na yon magiging patas, mas mabilis sila kasi mas marami sila. Itong senador natin, ilan lang. Yun yung problema nakikita ko sa Senado. Sana magkaroon man lang sa buong isang taon na panunungkulan nila, mag-alat sila ng 1-3 buwan dyan sa Senado na wala silang gagawin kundi investigasyon lang. Para itong mga batas na ng mga prioridad nito, ito yung uunahin. Schedule, bigyan nila ng schedule. Itong buwan na to, ito ang para sa sinasabi nilang end of legislation. Hindi Pag may bagong ngayon, may bagong reklamo, ipapasok. May bagong reklamo, ipapasok. Bagong reklamo, ipapasok. Ano nangyari sa batas? Nakabinbin. Yun lang. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Bong. Go ahead, Sir Boxy.
Ang masasabi ko lang, it's a body na driven by lobby. There's nothing patriotic about it. Lobby driven kasi nandun ang pera sa lobby. Yun lang.
Parang, yes, tama ka naman dun, Sir Boxy and Sir Bong. I just want to remind everyone that we have a very special guest on Thursday. It's July 13. If tayo nag-uusap tayo about geopolitics and the foreign policy of the president, how good will the conversation be if we have someone from the government who's a consultant of the government to talk about that with us. So it's still a discussion, just as this one. Pero we have a legitimate insider who would tell us more about it. So let's talk about the Marcos administration foreign policy on Thursday. It's July 13, 9 p.m. Same time, same place po tayo. Please follow the at PH Roundtable. Yes, Sir Marcus, you want to say something before we move on to our next topic?
Okay na, let's move to the next one just thank you.
All right, Sir Marcos. So, mas just a shortcut ko yung next topic. It's about the controversies and issues. Kasi 'di ba, parang regardless as in, siguro simula nung nagkamalay ako in politics, the Senate and the House of Representatives are not no stranger to controversies and issues. And syempre, the 19th Congress is not an exemption. So, bigyan ko kayo ng mga examples of the issues and the controversies, and I will open the floor to whatever you want to talk about. So, let's talk about yung con-con na pinupursue ni Senator Robin Padilla that later on died. As in, si Senator Robin yung mismong nagsabi na namatay or it died, his attempt of con-con died. So there's also yung first law that was signed by President Bongbong Marcos, which is the Barangay and SK election postponement, was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. Furthermore, the opposition thinks that a declaration of Maharlika Investment Fund as urgent is also unconstitutional. Parang gusto na nandalin sa Supreme Court. Does it say anything about the legislative branch of the government? Also, if you want to talk about this, there's also the TRO of the PWD first a PWD party list first nominee Rowena Gonzon. And then there's also the yung biglang naging congressman ang nominee ng Axis party list, which is Erwin Tulfo. And then the new DSWD secretary now was also congressman, which is Congressman Gatchalian. So medyo madaming issues about the 19th Congress. We can also talk about yung pagpapalit ng committee leader, ay tama ba, committee leader na mag-uusap about RCEP. So ang dami-daming ano. So we just want to open the floor to whatever issue or controversies about the 19th Congress that you want to talk about. Gamer?
Alright. Sorry, nagtatype ako. Alright. Sino ba? Sino bang nauna? Sorry. Nawala si Just. Von, ikaw na. Von?
Okay. I would like to focus on the balasahan sa Kongreso, especially sa party list. What happens actually is yung mga unnecessary substitutions, regardless from the administration or the opposition, defeats the purpose of the party list system. But it doesn't mean na kailangan i-abolish na lang ang party list kasi walang kwenta. Kasi yung actual na reason bakit andiyan ang party list system is because to represent the underrepresented. Kasi saturated na ng mga mayayaman yung Kongreso. Ang nangyari nga lang is because of the Supreme Court ruling lang during the time, if I could recall clearly, during the time of former President and now Congresswoman Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, ayun na, nagiging, kung hindi magkasya yung political dynasty sa Kongreso, gagawa ng party list. What are the locally, the best example is Bisawa ng mga garin. But on the other hand, isa nakikita ko sa mga ganyan, plus dagdagan pa natin yung issue kay Kong Teves and sa PRO ni Attorney Rowena Gonzon. Actually, the changes in membership actually hinders productivity and would really question public trust, especially sa party list system. This is not the party list, the essence of the party list system that we intend to accomplish eh. Kasi parang ang representation, karamihan ng nagre-represent para sa personal interest kaya nga sasabihin ko naman ulitin to yan ang dahilan kung bakit naging kaladkarin ang House of Representatives. That's all.
Alright. Thank you very much, Von. Kuya Marcos.
Ako talaga, paano ko, at inabuso na nila yung party list system na yan na ang pangit ng um, tingnan sa ngayon, ano? I'm for the abolition of the party list system. Ganun lang. Yung ibang issue naman tungkol con I'm si Robin Padilla ay matigas ng ulo no? Talagang hindi niya binitawan. I think hanggang ngayon yata umiikot pa siya ng Pilipinas para ikampanya yung constitutional amendments. I think walang kanya unless pag sinabi ni Presidente Marcos mismo na go, saka lang mag-move yung any constitutional amendment. Pero sabi ko nga, being a Marcos, he will not touch yung core constitution. It's not going to look good. And besides, I don't think na kailangan baguhin yung constitution para lang umasenso ang Pilipinas. Lahat ng mga arguments nila para sa economic justification ng constitutional amendments is I don't buy them totally. No? Hindi pa rin nila yung sinasabi nilang hindi aasenso, walang investor na darating kung I don't buy that. Yung etong barangay sa SK election, ganun na nga, I think it was declared unconstitutional pero sinabi rin ng Supreme Court na ituloy. Ano? I think everybody was expecting this already na ganito yung magiging ruling tungkol dito. Yung ano pa ba? Yung MIS as unconstitutional, sinasabi nila nung nakaraan the thing is kahit dalhin nila ito sa Supreme Court, the Supreme Court will not rule on this kasi trabaho ng Congress yung magpasa ng bill and hindi pakikialaman ng Supreme Court ito kahit pa idulog nila sa Supreme Court yung kaso nito. Pero I don't think na magkakaroon I don't think wala na to. We can forget about this whole thing. Yun lang muna. Thank you.
Alright, thank you very much po. Kuya Bong, go ahead po.
Mag-focus ako sa ASEP. Kasi, nung na-member tayo ng WTO, lahat ng agricultural product natin na importasyon, na-exploit ng Pilipinas. So, nakita ko to nung nagkaroon ng investigasyon, lumabas na nung nakaraang administrasyon kay Duterte at saka kay Pinoy, sobra-sobra ang importasyon. Kaya nagbagsakan ng karne natin at saka baboy, gulay, lahat. So, ang karne natin na kailangan every year ay sa 600,000 metric tons lang. Ang in-import nila is nasa 900,000 metric tons. Ang kailangan natin ng bigas every year is 1.3 million metric tons. Ang in-import nila is 1.5 million metric tons. So, ang bawang kailangan natin nung nagka-short tayo ng panahon ni Duterte na 400,000 metric tons dapat ang import, kumuha sila ng 500,000. So, laging over, laging sobra. Pero itong RCEP na to, na very controversial to, hindi tinats ni Duterte ito. Kasi alam niya na ayaw niya magkamali. Na sa kanyang administrasyon, ito magkaroon ng pagkakamali. Kasi kailangan talaga niya na ang hahawak nito ay sa susunod na presidente na kailangan na magaling sa agrikultura para hindi ma-exploit ang mga mga magsasaka natin. Kasi tingnan mo, maraming simula nung nagkaroon tayo ng mga importasyon, napapabayaan na yung natin agrikultura, nawala na yung research and development, nawala na yung farming to market road, nag-concentrate na lang sa importasyon. Kasi nga mas bastante na itong mga DE na 'to. Hindi na kailangan nila ng malaking budget, hindi na sila magtatrabaho para sa pagpunta sa bukid, sa bundok, para mag-seminar sa mga magsasaka, magbibigay ng mga bagong teknolohiya, magbibigay ng makinarya, import na lang sila ng import. So, naging easy way ang trabaho nila. Sila ay talagang namayagpag ng halos ilang dekada. Kaya itong RCEP, napaka-controversial nito kasi alam natin na masasagasaan ng mga malilit nating magsasaka, lalo-lalo na ang kooperatiba. So, nung tinouch 'to ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos noon, talagang sinubaybayan ko 'to. Hindi ko talaga binitiwan 'to. So, nagiging devil advocate nito si Imee, na hindi siya na marami siyang mga opposed views, pero napaganda. Kasi nga, itong mga sinusulong ng mga mambabatas natin, may nakita si Amy Marcos na hindi balanse. So, nung sinabi niya na kailangan talaga, nag-oppose siya kasi hindi niya nakikita na itong RCEP na 'to magiging mapaganda sa bayan. Kailangan nito mayroon isang komite, which is nasunod naman at, nung pinirmahan ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, nagtayo agad si Pangulong Bongbong ng komite na para titingin dun sa inflows, out at saka kung ano yung kailangan at ano hindi kailangan. Ibig sabihin, yung supply and demand kailangan tutukan. So, sinong ahensyang nilagay niya diyan? Yung Bureau of Customs, DE, DTI. So, yung mga ahensya na titingin diyan, PSA. So, may mga NGOs pa at saka
Para pa
mga
po.
agrikultura ng mga member na talagang titingnan. Kaya ngayon, nakikita natin ngayon, alam na natin kung anong kulang sa asukal, yun at yun lang ang hindi kagaya noon na talagang sobra-sobra, bumabagsak talaga sa merkado, kawawang magsasaka. So, napakaswerte natin na nagkaroon tayo ng Pangulo na nabalanse itong yung RCEP na to. Kasi malaking tulong din to sa Pilipinas, lalo na sa mga micro natin. Ngayon, si Pascual ay nilalako ang agrikultura natin, yung mga micro natin sa EU. So, nagsimula tayo sa kakao. So, hoping na
Kuya.
ngayon, ang China, 5 million pala, may balita kanina. Ang China ay kailangan ng buko, 5 million pieces every month. So, magiging maganda yan kasi may RCEP na tayo, member tayo. Kung maging successful yan at pumasa yung test na yan, so ang mga buko natin, makakapag-import natin kagaya ng Thailand kasi mas malapit tayo sa Thailand. So, yun lang. Malaking tulong to sa micro natin, itong RCEP na to dahil nahimay ng maganda. Hindi kagaya ng talagang na-exploit tayo ng WTO. Thank you.
Thank you, Kuya Bong. Von, go ahead po. 3 minutes.
Okay. Ano focus ng pag-declare ng SC na unconstitutional yung 2023 barangay and SK elections? Ito na minsan sa sobrang pagmamadali ng legislature, I don't know kung ano talaga yung intent, bakit i-postpone. Yan tuloy. They will have actually yung epekto pala in an article that I have read just recently here. 2 taon lang sila maninilbihan sa pwesto dahil yung panahon na dapat sana na nakapag-eleksyon kasi na-postpone, and yung sa magiging actual na election, parang holdover capacity na lang siya. So kung sino man lang manalo sa barangay and SK elections, now, holdover capacity yung first year, yung kung sino mananalo, 2 taon. Eh minsan nga, yung mga desisyon ng Kongreso ay, nako, parang bara-bara rin. Minsan, hindi nila alam kung ano talaga ang magiging consequence. Kaya, if we could recall, yung SC na mismo naglagay ng guidelines how could, paano magiging constitutional yung isang postponement of elections as legislated by the legislature. Hindi ko na iisa-isahin kasi medyo gipit tayo sa oras. And in conclusion, minsan gamit-gamit rin minsan ng ito pero pang-iinsulto na lang to in general sa legislature kahit paano kasi as we all know, majority of them sari-sariling interest din naman eh. Isip-isip rin naman, gamit-gamitin rin nila yung utak pag may time.
Aray naman, Von. Anyway. Von, are you done?
Von?
Okay.
Kapit lang, Von.
Okay. So, since we're done with the controversies and issues, thank you so much for your answers. We have several questions left, so we're just gonna give 1 minute. Medyo madali lang naman. You can see the questions above. So wait lang. You're invited to co-host. Accept. Yan. All right. Our first question is, nasa accomplishments na tayo. What do you think is the most notable bill filed and why? Nasa bill pa lang po tayo. May nabalitaan ba kayo na bill na parang sobrang gandang-ganda kayo or you think is really good and why? So, yeah.
Ayun.
Anyone who
Before
wants to
anything else,
yes, go ahead,
reform,
Vaughn.
pa-co-host po ako si Just.
Tapos na. Thank you.
Di pa rin eh.
Yes. Sa akin,
Okay, sige.
naka-host na ako. Yes. I know 1 minute lang tayo ha for this question kasi 5 pa tong questions natin. Go ahead, Vaughn.
Sa akin, ang pinaka-notable bill na na-file is the SOGI bill. It has been long been overdue. Matagal na itong tapos ang debate sa publiko kung tutuusin. Bakit hanggang ngayon for almost 3 decades, hindi pa rin mapasa-pasa? It is time for the legislature and President Marcos Jr. to prioritize SOGI bill if the executive really supports SOGI bill.
All right. Thank you, Vaughn. Anyone else? Notable bill
Anyone
filed.
po?
Reform? Ikaw, you want to answer?
Reform?
Eto, wait lang. Si Sir Bong muna. 1 minute lang po. Go ahead, Sir Bong. And then reform.
Ngayon yung kadiwa bill na 3957. Kasi alam naman natin na ang plano ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos ay yung value chain. So kailangan kikita pa rin from the production, hanggang sa marketing, kailangan kikita yung magsasaka. Kasi ilang taon na yan na hindi nahawakan ng magsasaka, hanggang production na magsasaka. Ang kumikita ay middleman at saka itong mga cartel pagdating sa marketing at saka sa industrialization. So yun ang pinakamaganda. Although umuusad na ngayon, baka siguro sa susunod na
30
pagbukas
seconds.
at least kampante ako sana matuloy yan. Kasi pag natuloy yan, obligado na sa buong munisipyo sa bawat bansa magkakaroon ng agro-terminal, kadiwa terminal. Yun na, thank you.
Thank you very much, Kuya Bong.
Ay, dagdag ko lang pala, may 25 billion pesos budget yan every year. Kaya hindi posibleng hindi matutupad. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Wow. Yes, thank you. Reform, you want to say something?
Can I talk about the agrarian
Reform?
Pangatlong
emancipation?
question. Pangatlong question yan.
Okay, later.
Thank you. Yes, anyone else who wants to speak about the most notable bill filed? All right. If none, let's go to which Senate or Congress inquiry do you think best serve the public? Ito yung mga Senate investigation, Blue Ribbon Committee, patawag ng ganito. Ang mga example niya yung sa EDCA inquiry, yung sa NAIA issue, DepEd laptop, smuggling investigation, Pogo, etc., etc. Yes. Anyone and alin doon sa mga Senate inquiries and Congress inquiries best serve the public? So, gamer?
Ako ba?
Hindi, ikaw magtawag.
Ay,
Baka, pero kung may answer ka.
wala, di pa ako mag-answer. Feeling ko wala naman. Guys, anyone?
Si Von.
One, go.
Sino mauna? Ikaw na lang siguro muna, Sir Bong, before sa akin.
Ako na ba? Ako. Ang akin, agree. Agree. Yung agricultural product natin na natutukan, dito, ngayon lang natin nalaman na ganun pala katalamak ang kartel. Ganun pala katalamak ang smuggling. So, doon ako nasiyahan na nabuksan yan. Kasi kung yan namamayagpag, ibig sabihin, ilang taon yan. Ilang taon silang yumaman dyan, yung mga kartel na to at mga importasyon na yan. Ngayon lang nakita ng administrasyon ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Kung walang naging investigasyon diyan, baka tuloy-tuloy ang ligaya nila. Yun na, thank you.
Alright, thank you po. Von, ikaw na.
Okay. Aside from smuggling na notable rin sa akin, mas notable yung investigation sa Pogos. Dahil in the first place, maraming ginagawang cover yung legal Pogos para maging scams. And to be honest, Senator Hontiveros is one of those na tumututok din sa issue ng Pogos na ginagamit bilang legal for some hubs na nagiging gateway rin tayo sa human trafficking, and the good thing is the legislature is investigating it para na matigil na yung human trafficking at ang digital scamming activities dito sa Pilipinas using legal cover.
Alright, thank you very much, Von. Anyone else?
Ako, gamer. Hello? Gamer, can you hear me? Naririnig niyo po ako?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah. Ako I would agree with yung sa investigation ng Pogo as well. Kasi finolo ko siya right from the start. So, sobrang dami palang human trafficking na nangyayari. I think I started following it August or October last year. Tapos, there's also the EDCA inquiry. Kasi sa sobrang daming pinag-usapan about EDCA sa Twitter Spaces during that time, I'm super happy with the inquiry kasi sobrang daming nasagot ng mga representatives of the executive. Kaya nga, lagi akong in support of the Senate inquiries or the Congress inquiry kasi it answers questions. So if ever man, as I've said on a tweet, on a reply tweet, if ever man even if it's the Makabayan blog, even if it's the opposition who's gonna ask for the investigation regarding the whole DOT fiasco, I would really support it in the premise that it will answer questions that we have and erase doubts. So yeah. Anyone else who wants to speak about ano ba which legislative inquiry ang do you think best serve the public? If none, we can move on to our next question. Masaya to para tayo fast talk. Ang ating next question is, sa lahat ng mga pumasa na bills for the third reading, these are the bills or laws na for signing or already signed by President Bongbong Marcos. Which one do you think is the best accomplishment of the 19th Congress and why? Yes. Ito na yata si Reform. Go ahead, Reform.
Ako Sir Bong would add inputs to what I will say. Pero yung Agrarian Emancipation Act or RA number 11953. So for me, it is a big help to the farmers. Basically, the aim of the law from the title itself, diba? Emancipate agrarian reform beneficiaries from the burden of agrarian debt. So when we talk about ARB, we're talking about farmers or farm workers who have been awarded lands before. Pero they have to, di ba, they have to require to pay an annual installment of 6% over a maximum of period of 30 years. But with this law, it will be condoned. So magandang law to kasi it will pay for approximately amounting to 57.56 billion. Di pala. It is 57.56. So we're talking about 600,000 ARB and how many hectares of land? Almost like, correct me if I'm wrong, 1.173 million. So, for hectares, 11,531.24 hectares of land. So, magandang ano to. I think this will be like his signature or landmark bill that when it comes to, di ba, napatupad niya yung isa sa mga na sinabi niya nung campaign season, di ba? Anything for the farmers to help them in their help them with their burden. So this is one good law that our president has passed. Sir Bong would like to add to what I said.
Si Sir Bong.
Ayun, tama yan, tama. Napakaganda yung ano na yun, yung batas na yun. 50 years yan. Marami tayong mga, kita mo naman dun sa sa auditorium, nakikita natin mga matatanda na. So, mga ilang henerasyon na ngayon, mga pangalawang henerasyon na ngayon, akala nila sa kanila yung lupa, yung pala hindi na. So ngayon, nabuhayan sila ng loob, nagkaroon talaga nakuha talaga nila ang gusto nilang makuha. Inaward sa kanila yan. So yung rate off na yan, napakaganda. Hindi na yan mababali. Legacy na yan ng mga Marcos. Talagang namimigay ng gan. 1 million, yes. 1 million plus ang hektarya yung lupa, 600,000, 610,000 ng nabigyan ng benepisyo dyan. Tsaka yung programa ng food security kasi isa rin nga inaano natin yung pinaproblema natin eh. Kasi nga, lagi kong sinasabi, dami nang umaaray sa sweldo pero hindi nila alam na almost 60% ng taong kinakain napupunta sa pagkain. Kung sinisweldo nila 700, 600. Kaya walang naiuwi. Kaya laging may squatter. So kung mapapababa natin yung magkaroon tayo ng food security talaga, maging supisyente yung pagkain natin, babagsak ang presyo niyan, which is yun naman ang aim ng Pangulong Marcos. So malaking tulong yung 1 million hectares na yun. Napakalaking tulong yan sa isa food security na yan. Hindi kayang tawaran yan at ilang kabambigas ang may production yan na wala na silang iintindihin, hindi na sumasakit yung ulo nila. So, pangalawa yung gusto ko tong MIF, kasi sana mapirmahan na yan. Dahil diyan natin makikita yung hindi na tayo aasa sa utang ng utang para lang sa infrastruktura. Hindi na tayo aasa sa PPP na kapartner ng gobyerno. Itong mga oligarch na to ay magkakaroon ng sariling fund na yung government natin o yung private entities na yan, matawag na private entities yan, hindi naman sa saklaw na ng gobyerno yan. So, mapapabilis yung infrastruktura natin. Kasi huling-huli na tayo eh. Nahuli na tayo ng almost 15 to 20 years ang infrastructure natin. Kaya mabagal yung natin, mabagal yung impulse natin in terms of investment. Kasi nga, kuryente, wala tayong kulang ang infrastructure sa kuryente, sa telecom kulang, sa lahat. So sa tubig, lalo na ngayon, mag-i-El Nino, ngayon pa nga lang, ilang lugar sa Metro Manila ang nawalan ng tubig kanina na almost 5 to 6 hours. Kasi kailan ba nagsimula ang dam? Sa panahon ni Duterte, yung Kaliwa Dam, matatapos yan 2030, yung Kaliwa Dam. So 600 million liters ang ipoproduction yan para dadalhin dito sa Luzon, sa Metro Manila. So, ibig sabihin, kailan pa magkakaroon ng tubig? So, anong gagawin ng administrasyon na? So, magkakaroon tayo ng krisis sa tubig. Aminin naman natin, hindi, pagdating ng El Nino na to. So, kulang ang infrastructure natin. So, kailangan natin ng pera. Hindi tayo pwedeng mangutang na kagaya ng ginawa ni Duterte. Although, maganda yon. Pero, merong ODA, puro, mababaon ng Pilipinas sa utang kung wala tong MIF nito. Malaking tulong tong MIF sa totoo lang. Binabatigos nila yan, hindi nila naintindihan. kung anong benepisyo niyan sa bawat Pilipino,
Para
trabaho,
pa po.
infrastruktura. So, yung dalawang yan, diyan ako sumasampalataya at tumataas talagang palakpak ang tenga ko diyan. Thank you.
Salamat po, Kuya Bong.
Tawang-tawa ako, Sir Bong, sa sumasanampalataya. Thank you, Sir Bong. Okay, sadly, we're gonna close tonight's session with a really good question. Dalawa yung question natin for the closing. Number one is, do you if you want to highlight a senator or a congressman with the things, or a legislator per se, with something that they're do I mean a current legislator, if you want to highlight, you can use your closing speech or your closing remarks about that. Or if you want to highlight a bill na kailangan to be given priority, you can also use that. We'll give you 2 to 3 minutes each. So you have time to express what you want to say. Again, thank you so much for coming tonight. And I just wanted to remind you, it's pinned dun sa taas. Please like and retweet that, because we're gonna have Sir Justin on Thursday. Sir Justin on Thursday, it's July 13, because we are going to talk about the Marcos administration foreign policy. So from West Philippine Sea to geopolitical situation, EDCA, one China policy, etc. We're going to talk about that. And believe me when I say that Sir Justin is the right person to be with dito sa topic na to. So, yeah, gamer.
Yes, si Von. Von?
Okay. Sa closing statement ko, here it is. The Soji Equality Bill is not about special treatment. It is about protecting our children from being hurt and ensuring that we are all given the chance to live a life that is free from the fear of ridicule, pain, and even death, just because you see LGBTQIA plus persons as different. Yun ang paninindigan namin sa Partido Akbayan. At kasama ni na Senator Risa Hontiveros, ako bilang miyembro ng Partido Akbayan, ilalaban namin ang SOGI Equality Bill. Uulitin natin ito. 23 taon na itong pinagdedebatihan. Dapat sana wala ng debate kasi naiklaro na yan for 23 years. Hindi po ito special treatment. Pagpoprotekta sa mga children, sa mga kabataan na masaktan dahil sa kanilang gender identity. 23 years is enough. Kailangan nang ipasa ang SOGI bill, make it a priority bill, and we will fight for equality among all, lalong-lalo na sa LGBTQIA plus sector. Maraming salamat po at magandang gabi, bayan.
Thank you, Von. Thank
Salamat
you.
po, Kabayan Nolity Castro. Sorry. Kuya Bong.
Sa akin yung agri-party list yung hinahain nila ni ngayon yung yung Kadiwa Bida 6957. Bakit kamo? Alam naman natin, aminin natin hindi, napakamahal ng pagkain natin. Hindi matutuloy, hindi mabubuo pagka walang value chain at kung hahawakan pa rin yan ng mga oligarch o cartel yung pagkain natin hanggang ang production ng dito lang sa magsasaka, wala pa rin. Ang sweldo natin kukulangin pa rin yan, 600, 700. Magkano kinakain natin ng umagahan, tanghalian, hapunan, baon pa ng mga bata, bayad sa kuryente, bayad sa tubig, pamasahe araw-araw ng isang obrero. So, mawawalang saysay. Kaya ngayon, itong ginagawa ng Pangulo na to, itong House Bill na yan, 6957 na yan, ay napakaganda niyan. Diyan ako medyo tinututukan ko yan na sana mapapabilis yan. Kasi 25 billion pesos every year niyan. So magkakaroon na ng Kadiwa Center, Kadiwa warehousing, doon itatayo yan. So ang magiging mangyari, ang magsasaka ay from farm up to marketing. Kikita siya. So maiibsan ng maiibsan yung kita ng ano, no, mawawala ang kita ng mga middleman at saka yung mga kartel na nilalagay nila sa warehouse nila, nilalagay nila sa cold storage nila, patutulugin nila. Mawawala na yung ano, mawawala na yung hoarding na pagdating sa mga gulay, prutas, kung ano man yan. So, doon natin makikita, babagsak ang presyo lahat ng mga bilihan. Mga kagaya sa Thailand, pag bumagsak ang presyo natin, magbibenepisyo niyan itong mga obrero natin na sumasahod na minimum wage. Kasi kung ngayon ay sa data ng PSA na ang
30
kinakain
seconds
ng
po.
tao, ang sumasweldo ng 600 to 700 is 60% ng sweldo niya ay napupunta sa pagkain. Kung mabawasan ng 30% yan, halos kalahati dyan, ang lakay na maiuwi niyang pera sa bahay. Makakapag-saving siya, makakapaghulog ba siya na dapat hulog sa pag-ibig, sa panggamot niya, sa insurance niya, whatever. Doon ako na ano, ngayon na yung bill na yan in terms sa mga lahat ng congressman at saka sa Senado. Yun lang. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Bong. Anyone else who wants to give their closing remarks?
Closing?
Yes. If not, I want to highlight. Well, I didn't vote for this senator as well kasi basically apat na senador lang binoto ko last election. Pero apparently if this is the first time you'll follow me, I'm a political junkie, so I listen to committee hearings for hours while working. So basically I follow everything that is politics. So while following the Senate, there's one senator na super nag-stand out during the 19th Congress, and it is Senator Win Gatchalian. As in, he goes above, over, and beyond when it comes to education. For me, when you say educational reform, when you say addressing education crisis, it's not necessarily VP Sarah that comes in my mind first. It's actually Senator Win. Kasi from the bills that he's trying to pass, meron siyang Batang Magaling Act. He also is also part of the co-chair with the VP on EDCOM. So, lahat ng efforts when it comes to addressing education crisis, he's already done. Aside from that, he also has bills for dun sa ease on doing taxes, which is basically a huge thing, and the Pogo uh inquiry, as in sobrang top notch on how was he handled the whole situation. I'm a huge fan of him right now, judging from where I came from the part where I came from, that I didn't even vote for him at all because sa isip ko trapo to kasi it's a familiar last name, etc., etc. But following him and his work, is very, very good. So yeah, that's a nice surprise of the 19th Congress. And if there's a bill that I really want to highlight, I would agree with Vaughn. It's actually the Soji bill. My request for Senator Villanueva is just simple. Just bring the bill to the floor. If hindi talaga okay, and then fine. Pero wag mo siyang itago. Just bring it to the floor, bring it to the plenary for us to discuss it. Alam mo yun, all we ask is just a discussion. So, anyone else who wants to, gamer ikaw, before we end?
Actually, mas na-excite ako ngayon sa mga neophytes natin on what they can bring to the table. What's new? I mean, marami kasing old kasi sa legislation natin. Having them would be something nice sa Senate or sa Congress. So yun, I'm just looking forward, and I'm quite well, I don't know. For me, I am kind of impressed with Sandro. Mabilis siya magtrabaho. I don't know for sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. He knows a lot of things, and he can answer questions. In spite his young age, parang feeling ko kaya lang pasuhin yung mga tao sa Congress na natutulog lang eh. Yeah. And with the performance and Mark Villar then, I think kung sasama sila, they'll be a good team if ever. Isa sa Congress at saka isa sa Senate. They can make things done fast. Again, that I don't know for sure if that would be a good thing or a bad thing. But then again, nasa sa kanila din naman din. And yeah, speaking of Soji Bill, sabi ni Just, I mean, ang tagal na kasi niyan eh. Pero hindi ko lang, just kailan ba siya huling pinasa ulit sa plenary? Kasi ang tagal-tagal na kasi pinag-usapan to eh.
Yeah,
Hindi ko,
parang last year pa. I think it was October. Not this year lang yata. Basta parang yung kay Joel. This year, March.
kasi parang nung college pa ako, pinag-uusapan na rin to eh. And I'm already,
ang
I'm maging
pinakahuling
37.
nangyari, pumasa na siya ng committee. Tapos allegedly nag-solicit yung office ni Joel Villanueva ng letters from pastors. Tapos binalik nila sa committee level na dapat na sa committee level ni women ni gender si Risa, pero napunta sa committee ni Joel. So doon binuro niya doon. Yun yung nangyari.
My God.
Okay.
Dapat nga tapos na rin yan eh. Dapat dinidiscuss pa rin yung Soji Bill kung ano pa yung naging issue. Well, mga further issues niya.
Ano pang kailangan ayusin.
Oo, ayusin. At saka yung mga bagay na alam na natin hindi na dapat pinupush, wag nang i-push. Yung tipong kung ano yung maipasa lang natin ngayon and then we could try siguro amend something if it doesn't work or ganon. Pero I'll just gonna go for Soji when it comes with our rights. Aside from that, marriage, no na. Again, yung issue ko lang kasi dyan is like, let's not push the word marriage on the Soji Bill if ever it's part. Parang yung issue pa rin kasi siya kaya hindi mapasa-pasa yun eh. But yeah, yun lang. Well, other things, Maharlika, questionable ako dyan, pero let's see.
Yes, thank you so much, Gamer.
Judge.
Just an announcement. Yeah, go ahead. Go na.
Yeah, I would like to invite everyone tomorrow for another space discussion, but this time it will be about the controversy about someone who mapped. Well, that's what they are saying, diba? There was like an event, and then somebody made a show, or for them it was art. Ano tawag doon? Cosplay or drag?
They claim it drag performance. Some says it's cosplaying, yeah, and some say it's art daw. So I don't know which one is which.
Yep. So hopefully we can invite those people who were part of the drag performance. But nevertheless, we will have a discussion tomorrow. So please follow this account, and then we'll schedule a space. 7 p.m. tomorrow.
Yes, thank you so much, Reform. Guys, just to end this, I'm just gonna want to remind you that we have a roundtable discussion. It's still a discussion on Thursday. This is about the Marcos administration foreign policy with a legitimate geopolitical analyst who is the right person to talk to about the Marcos administration foreign policy. You can check his account. He is it's another nakalagay din sa taas, si Sir Justin. So, I think you will enjoy that space so much kasi at least meron tayong tatanungan if we have questions. Again, thank you so much for coming tonight. We ended before 12 in the morning, and that's like